A few days ago, Series 13 was officially announced and would allow players to use both legendary Pokemon and Mythicals for the first time ever on the ranked ladder. Even though this might not be an official VGC format, I thought it'd be interesting to give my initial impressions on the Mythical Pokemon based on my experience in Smogon Doubles OU, Doubles Ubers, and the one Sword and Shield tournament that allowed Mythicals that I played in. I will only be ranking the Mythicals and comparing them to other Mythicals based on their tools, niches, and viability, but there may be some comparisons to the legendary Pokemon. Now let's begin, shall we? Let's start with quickly eliminating the unobtainable Mythicals in Sword and Shield, which include the following: Deoxys, Fione, Manaphy, Shaman, Darkrai, Arceus, Meloetta, and Hoopa. Phantom Pokemon Mew. Pure Psychic type with base 100 in all of its stats and access to every move acquired from TMs, TRs, and move tutors in Gen 8. It does not get access to Fake Out and Tailwind like in prior generations, but a base 100 HP stat is solid for Transform. Mew gets many support options such as Trick Room, Icy Wind, Imprison, etc., or could run offensive sets with amazing coverage moves and setup moves. Base 100 HP and defenses means Mew can usually survive one hit, but will generally feign to double targets to many hard hitters in the format that can outspeed it, as base 100 speed isn't fast compared to many of the legendary Pokemon. With many flexible options and the element of surprise, it is still a solid Mythical on some teams, and thus I rank Mew as a solid B tier. The time travel Pokemon Celebi. Don't use this Pokemon. Grass is generally a terrible type defensively, especially with Max Airstream as a common max move, and all base stats being 100 isn't enough for this Pokemon. Celebi gets a few support moves with Trick Room, Pollen Puff, and Life Dew, setup moves with Nasty Plot, and does get Earth Power, but its coverage is very underwhelming. Air Song could have been viable if the format didn't have a high amount of offensive power. I rank Celebi as F tier with its only saving grace that is better than regular Calyrex. The Wish Pokemon Jirachi. Base 100 stats across the board with solid move coverage, an array of support moves, and being part Steel type, which is nice with its bulk. Serene Grace is a cheeky ability allowing for 60% Iron Head flinches, 60% Body Slam paras, 40% Zen Headbutt flinches, and 20% statuses from the element of punches. It can run a fast set with the goal of spreading Paralysis and Icy Winds, or set up Trick Room. Jirachi's flaws come from base 100 speed not being amazing in Trick Room, or being fast enough to outspeed many legendaries. While Serene Grace isn't reliable, but also it doesn't get Follow Me in this generation, which made it solid in Doubles OU before it was banned, which was amazing, as the only Doubles OU tournament I've ever played in, I won with using Jirachi every week. There are many solid Steel type Mythicals and restricteds that outclass Jirachi. For these reasons, I have to put Jirachi in a C tier. The Victory Pokemon Victini. All base 100 stats again with a great offensive typing, decent coverage moves, and support options with an amazing ability in Victory Star. Victory Star increases the accuracy of the users and partners' moves by 10%. That could be solid, especially paired with Venusaur and Groudon. Victini lost many tools in this generation, including access to Glaciate, Fusion Bolt, Fusion Flare, Blue Flare, and Bolt Strike, which are prior gen event moves. Victini has a powerful physical 180 base power fire move in V-Create, still obtains electric coverage in Thunder Punch and Wall Charge, while having access to Trick Room and Final Gambit, which are important. Scarf Final Gambit Victini with Magearna is an infamous duo in Doubles Ubers, which I'll go into details later in this video. Victini has many synergy options compared to the other Mythical Pokemon, with good offensive typing and coverage, with a scary Final Gambit option even if it's weaker in Dynamax, while potentially helping its allies out with Victory Star. For these reasons, I put Victini in a strong A tier. The Cult Pokemon Keldeo. Water Fighting type with 108 base speed, 129 special attack, and a bulk spread of base 91 HP and base 90 in both defenses. Keldeo might have been cool if it wasn't in a format with all legendaries. Its move coverage isn't impressive with Scald, Hydro Pump, Icy Wind, Air Slash, and Secret Sword, which is a special 85 base power fighting move that uses the opponent's physical defense stat instead of special defense for its damage output. Keldeo does underwhelming damage compared to the legendaries with its weaker base power moves, doesn't have any great support moves other than maybe Quick Guard and Coaching, but isn't very fast to take advantage of it alongside being quite fragile in this format, weak to player exhaustion, electric coverage, and max airstream. Keldeo gets placed in a D tier for disappointing, but could have been solid if it wasn't for the legendaries. Paleozoic Pokemon Genesect. Bug Steel type, which is great because it only has one weakness in fire, strong coverage with base 120 attack stats, base 99 speed stat, an okayish bulk with base 71 HP and base 95 defenses, but a little bit underwhelming compared to the other mythical Pokemon. This Pokemon is mainly an attacker with the download ability that can either be great or might not do anything. Genesect gets access to max airstream via fly, strong special moves, and Techno Blast, which requires the held item to change typing, flamethrower, ice beam, thunderbolt, flash cannon, bug buzz, giga drain, energy ball, and now steel beam, while its physical move pool is more lackluster with leech life, U-turn, iron head, gunk shot, and blaze kick. Previously, Genesect has been solid in WOU, but in this format there are better steel types, might need the correct download boost to do some solid damage, but still is underwhelming compared to the legendaries while offering no good support options, and it has very underwhelming bulk for a mythical, but has a good defensive typing to help make up for it, an average C tier. The jewel Pokemon Diancie. Rock fairy type with clear body, which is nice for preventing stat draws from max moves, decent move coverage, and trick room. Base 50 HP is low but makes up for it with its base 150 defenses and base 100 attack stats with a base 50 speed stat, which is great for trick room. It has access to Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, Earth Power, Mystical Fire, Meteor Beam, and Diamond Storm, which is a spread physical 100 base power rock move that has a 50% chance to raise the user's defense stat by 2 stages. Diancie doesn't get access to its Mega Evolution in this generation, and its typing is terrible, where steel types like Zacian and Magearna seem fantastic on every team, alongside Kyogre and Groudon that threaten heavy damage with strong spread moves. With how common steel typing will likely be in this format and low offensive power, which maybe could be patched with weakness policy, but will still be missing knockouts, I would put Diancie in a D tier. Esteemed Pokemon Volcanion. Fire Water, which is a great offensive typing with base 130 special attack, decent bulk with base 80 HP, 120 defense, and 90 special defense, alongside having Water Absorb making it immune to water attacks is fantastic, but a low base 70 speed stat. Volcanion doesn't get too much move coverage, however, with Steam Eruption, which is a base 110 more powerful Scald, fire attacks alongside Earth Power, Flash Cannon, Solar Beam, and Sludge Bomb is very solid. Volcanion 4 times resisting steel, making it very strong against Zacian and Magearna, alongside immune to Kyogre's Water Spout, allowing it to have a strong niche in this format. For these reasons, I rank Volcanion as a solid A tier mythical. The artificial Pokemon Magearna. The mythical most players would say that if this Pokemon was allowed in VGC, it would be broken. Steel Fairy type is amazing with solid bulk of base 85 HP and base 115 defenses, including a base 135 special attack alongside only 65 base speed, but gets access to Trick Room, making it incredible. Soul Heart is an insane ability that increases the user's special attack whenever a Pokemon faints on the battlefield, which includes your partner and the opposing side, and Magearna isn't the one who needs to get the knockout, unlike Beast Boost. The infamous duo of Magearna and Victini in doubles Ubers was to use Final Gambit from Choice Scarf Victini that could trade knockouts, giving 2 Soul Heart boosts to Magearna, and Magearna would often survive one hit, get Trick Room up, and do massive damage afterward. Magearna also can boost its defenses with Max Steel Spike, be insanely hard to knock out, and can have a lot of item choices such as Weakness Policy, Safety Goggles, Resist Berries, and more. The coverage Magearna gets is great too, with Flash Cannon, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Aura Spear, Energy Ball, and Flare Cannon, which is its signature move that is a Fairy type Leaf Storm. While Magearna has always been crazy with Dynamax alongside strong damage output, it might be harder to get Trick Room up safely while dealing damage, making Magearna more manageable compared to non-Dynamax formats, although Dynamax does make Magearna a dangerous option as well. Pokemon that can be hard to beat, always have to play cautiously in fear of giving it a boost, and hard to immediately knock out makes Magearna an S tier threat among mythicals. The Gloom Dweller Pokemon Marshadow. Ghost Fighting type is one of the best offensive typings in the game with access to a solid 125 physical attack stat and speed stat. Ignition to boost Marshadow's moves weaker than 60 base power, which is great for priority Shadow Sneak, but a bit below average bulk for a mythical with base 90 HP, 80 defense, and 90 special defense. The thing that makes Marshadow crazy is Spectral Thief, which is a physical base 90 ghost type attack that steals all the opponent's stat changes, adds the boost on top of Marshadow's current stat changes, and applies it before calculating the damage output of the target. For instance, if you Spectral Thief against a +1 Zacian, you steal the attack boost from the Zacian, and that +1 is included, so you essentially have a +1 attack Spectral Thief against the Zacian. This is an incredible move, especially with the popularity of Max Move that boosts stats, and being able to steal them makes Marshadow an incredible revenge sweeper in the endgame. Marshadow gets incredible coverage with elemental punches, technician boosted rock tomb, other moves like feint and coaching, but close combat, Spectral Thief and Shadow Seek are all incredible moves most players would want on Marshadow because the coverage is already excellent. This Pokemon hits hard, is very fast for a Mythical, and even though it does not get access to a Z move, which was a stronger Spectral Thief, it is a Pokemon that can create so much pressure in the back for a mid or late game cleanup and was even banned in Doubles OU. Marshadow is an S tier Mythical that might even be better in Magearna in this format. The Thunderclap Pokemon Zeraora. Pure electric with a very fast speed stat of 143 with Volt Absorb healing from electric moves, which is nice to dodge Electrowebs from Regielekis, alongside a solid amount of support moves, although its bulk and damage output aren't outstanding with base 88 HP, 75 defense, and 80 special defense, while only having 112 attack and 102 special attack. Zeraora's best moves come from its support kit, which include Fake Out, Snarl, Coaching, Electroweb, Taunt, Helping Hand, Thunderwave, Scary Face, Low Sweep, and Quick Guard. It has decent offensive coverage with special electric moves, Close Combat, Aura Spear, Bounce, Acrobatics, Play Rough, Throat Chop, Fire Punch, Blaze Kick, and Grass Knot, alongside its signature move, Plasma Fist, which is a physical base 100 electric attack that turns normal type moves into electric type moves for the remainder of the turn, but most likely not very useful in the format. Zeraora seems very flexible, being able to go physical or special, alongside a great amount of speed control options, including fast fake out, which none of the other Mythicals have. However, it does lack damage output and is still slower than Jolly Zacian, Calyx Shadow Rider, and Regieleki, but at least it's immune to Electroweb. Factoring in all these factors, Zeraora is going in a solid B tier for me. The Hexnut Pokemon Melton. Don't use it. F tier. The second Hexnut Pokemon Melmetal. Yeah, why are there two of them? Melmetal is a pure steel type with great offensive capabilities in a solid move pool and a powerful 143 attack stat with Iron Fist boosting the power of its punching moves, accompanied with a high base HP stat of 135, base 143 defense, but low base 65 special defense and a base 34 speed stat, which is great for Trick Room. Gmax Melmetal has an interesting effect of inflicting the Torment condition onto both opposing Pokemon. Melmetal definitely would prefer getting defense boost from Max Steel Spike and Max Quake that complements its extremely high HP stat. Gets access to all the elemental punches, high horsepower, Darkest Lariat, superpower, and its signature move Double Iron Bash, which is a 2-hit 60 base power, each hit steel type attack with a 30% chance to flinch the opponent, and becomes a base 140 Max Steel Spike. Melmetal can be an absolute threat in Trick Room, hard to knock out, and takes strong advantage of Weakness Policy, Assault Vest, and Life Orb sets. For these reasons, I rank Melmetal in an A tier. The Rogue Monkey Pokemon Zarude. Dark Grass type, which is not great with not much type coverage, along with a base 120 attack stat. Its bulk is decent with base 105 HP and base 105 defense and 95 special defense, but its typing makes it weak to many attacks. Leaf Guard for its ability, which is only useful under the sun, but there are many grass partners for Groudon like Venusaur, alongside the fact that dark types are immune to Prankster Thunderwave already. Zarude gets access to Power Whip, Darkest Lariat, Rock Slide, Brick Break, Drain Punch, Close Combat, Rock Tomb, Snarl, Assurance, Acrobatics, Stomping Tantrum, Lash Out, U-Turn, and Grassy Glide for attacks, and Jungle Healing, which is Life Dew that has a bonus of healing status conditions. Zarude could have been better if it had Rillaboom tools with Grassy Surge, Fake Out, Knockoff, and have access to Sucker Punch, but otherwise doesn't offer much, which is why Zarude is joining Celebi in the F tier. And that concludes the Series 13 doubles tier list. If you did enjoy this kind of content, make sure you leave a like down below. It really does help me out. And of course, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments down below, whether you are thinking this is going to be an official VGC format, will we see tournaments in it, whether the Mythicals will actually have usage, and what the rankings are for you. But for me, I feel like the Mythicals, definitely this ranking could have been completely different if it was in a different format with like no legendary Pokemon, for instance, or maybe only one Mythical allowed. Would have definitely been changing the rankings, but this is what I have based on the entire format of Series 13 as it is. But I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more VGC and Series 13 doubles content. But that's going to be it for me. Have a great day, people, and until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.